Hey, business owners. Today I was actually going through my blog and I was looking at some of my blog posts and I ran across this blog post and I thought it's really a good idea it might be a good idea to kind of go through this again because this is a really good milestone for anyone who is starting a business. So if you are starting out, getting to your first $1,000 within a 30-day period is a really nice goal to have. And so I did this article and it basically showed you the steps. There are about 6 steps that you can take to reverse engineer the path to this $1,000 income goal. And so you can substitute whatever dollar amount you think you would want to put in for your goal. But I put in $1,000 because it's not a number that's, so high that it's unrealistic, but it's also a goal that is not so low that, you're not really going to be motivated to try to reach it, right? Most of us, if we got $1,000, that would be something that would definitely add to our income, and it would be a nice little extra, right? But if you're making $1,000 extra in a 30-day period and you know kind of what you've done, you know the steps that you've taken to make this $1,000, then you can repeat that, right? You can use those same steps with maybe another product and you can add streams of income that will help you to get from point A to point B, right? So then before you know it, you've got thousands of dollars, not just 1,000, but you've got thousands of dollars coming into your business on a monthly basis. So I'm going to take you through the steps and then I'll put a link to this below this video so that you can check out the details of this blog post. Okay, so let's go through. We'll just start at at the end with our goal of $1,000. Now, of course, you're going to need a product to offer, right? So if you have selected your side hustle, you know what product you want to sell, then you're in good shape. You're also going to need to know your target audience. So in addition to having a product to offer, you want to do a little homework and you want to understand who would be the best candidate or the best person who would need and want the product that you have to sell. Now, if you're not really sure who that is, I have a little link right here that you can click on, and that's going to take you to an article that shows you how to find your target audience. All right, so the next step you're going to want to take is determining the selling price. So when you have a digital product, maybe you have products that you're making, maybe you have a handmade product or you have a digital product, you can set the pricing, right? Because this is your product. If you're selling someone else's products, then you would just get the pricing from your supplier. But you need the selling price. Next, you need to determine the number of purchases required to reach your goal. So in the case of our product, let's say that we have a product that sells for $100 each, right? So our product that we've selected for our side hustle sells for $100. We would need 10 sales within a 30-day period to reach $1,000. So that's kind of like, just getting out your calculator, putting in the sale price, and multiplying that by the number of sales that you think you might have. And I've actually broken it down on a little chart, and you can make a chart like this as well. You can actually go into Google Sheets and you can plug in the numbers that you want for your goals, and then figure out the number of products that you will need to sell in order to reach that goal. So in this case, we have our income goal of $1,000. We have our selling price, and as you can see, those selling prices have varied. So the more expensive your products are, the fewer people you would have to sell in order to reach your income goal. So for $1,000, If I had a product that sold at $100, I would only need 10 people to buy. If I had a product that sold for $25, I would need to have 40 people to buy in order to reach my goal of $1,000. So you have to kind of think about that when you're creating products. You want to make sure that you have, figured out how many widgets or how many products or how many sales you're going to have to make in order to reach your goal. So then the other thing that this chart shows is that there are many ways to get to the same place. So, there's not a one size fits all. You just need to figure out, based on your product and your goal, what you need to do to get there. So now we're at step number 3. Now you want to determine your conversion rate, and there's really no hard fast rule for determining your conversion rate other than looking at your data. And so when you're just starting out, you don't have any data, right? So you would have to kind of go into some of the platforms, like, for example, I went into Shopify. And according to Shopify, the average e-commerce conversion rates are about between 2.5% to 3%. So what that means is between 2.5% and 3% of the people that are going to some of the industry leaders on Shopify, there's 2.5% to 3% of the people who are looking at that content that are actually converting. And what that means is it's 2.5% to 3% of the visitors to these Shopify stores that are actually buying. So when you think about 2.5% to 3% for industry leaders, I would venture to say that because we're just starting our business, we don't have brand recognition, we don't have that know, like, and trust factor yet, we haven't established our audience, our numbers are probably going to be lower. And that's okay. As long as we have a milestone that we can work with, we can plug that into our formula and come up with a number. So what I would recommend, if Shopify leaders are getting between 2.5% and 3%, I will put my numbers lower than that for the reasons that I just mentioned. And then I would work on, improving my conversion rate. I would tweak my site. I would work on, building my brand, building an email list, doing things that will really help my audience to know who I am and understand how I can help their business. And then the more you build that know, like, and trust factor with your audience, the better your chances are of improving your conversion rate. Okay, but we're going to just go with maybe 1.5%, okay, for our example. And, in this section, I also talk about doing things like testing. Testing is also a way that you can improve your conversion rate. So we have a tool that we use called Thrive Optimize. I put a link here that you can check out for that if you're interested in A/B testing. We also have some articles on that as well. All right, so I think we said our conversion rate is going to be 1.5%. Now we need to determine, we're going to use our conversion rate to determine the number of visitors needed to reach our goal. So let's see. To receive 10 sales per month with a 5% conversion rate, you would need to have 200 visitors to your shop. And the way you would do this is you would do the math. You would take the 10 sales and you would divide it by your conversion rate, and that would give you the number of visitors. This is a number that is really going to be important because this is going to tell you how much traffic you're going to need to drive to your offer so that you can reach your goal. Because let's say that you only need 10 people to buy your product, right? You only need 10 people, according to our little chart. Let me just go back up to the chart. So you only need 10 people. If your product sells for $100, You only need 10 people to reach your goal, right? But you know that everyone who visits your site, whether you're on Shopify or you have a WordPress blog or whatever your platform is, you know that you're not just going to have the 10 people who are, ready to buy your product visiting your site. You're going to have a lot of other people who are not going to convert. And so your conversion rate is really telling, it's really giving you feedback to say, you know what, the people who visit your site resonate with your offer. They want what you have to sell and they are ready to buy. And so, that conversion rate, the percentage, tells you about how many people are really going to go all the way and buy your product. So the higher you can get this number, if you can get this number up to 5%, you're doing really good, because that means you are doing better than the industry leaders on Shopify, right? If you're on WordPress, you might go and maybe do do some research on WooCommerce. WooCommerce is the plugin, the e-commerce plugin that WordPress users are using to build their shops. So there's probably data on WooCommerce that you can find. There may be some other platforms that work well with WordPress. You may be on Etsy. Whatever platform you're on, try to do some research to find out how people are converting on those platforms. Okay, but now we're going to go back to our example, and we said that our conversion rate was going to be 1.5%. So I've actually done the math, and so we're saying that our conversion rate is 1.5%, and that is going to represent, of course, a very low percentage, but because we're new, that's probably going to be more in line with the conversion rate that we might have. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take that same number of 10 sales, we're going to divide it by, and actually I thought I did the math for, okay, so I have a conversion rate of 1.5%, but I put the conversion rate on here at 2%. So I'm going to go out and do the math, and I'll be right back. I'm going to pause for a moment and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So I changed my number. Instead of saying 1.5% conversion rate, we changed it to 2, just to keep it simple. And so we're going to take the number of sales, which is 10, and we're going to divide it by our 2%, and that's going to give us 500 visitors that we're going to need to have to our site in order to reach our goal of $1,000 per month. So let's think about this. So we have 10 sales. We're going to divide it by our conversion rate, which is 2%. And when you do the math, it comes out to 500 visitors. Okay, so now think about, let's go back up to our chart. So we've got 10 sales. We said it's going to take 10 sales for us to reach our $1,000 goal, which means our product would have to sell at $100. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea of what you need to do. You kind of have it all laid out, right? What you need to do, how much traffic you need to drive to your site, and how you need to position your products so that they are in front of the right people at the right time on the right platform. So it's really, incumbent upon you as a business owner to make sure that you are getting that product out to the right people. You're advertising on, all the different platforms that they might be on, and you're really doing, your due diligence in terms of finding places where you can promote so that you can get at least 200 visitors to your site so that they can see your offer. And, the goal is that you have 10 people that will buy your product. Okay, so now this is step number 5. Let's see what step number 6 is. So it's kind of, I got ahead of myself, right? So step number 6 is going to be determining the best traffic sources. So it's really important for you to figure out where your ideal customers are hanging out. Where are the people basically that are going to be the best fit for what you're selling? And when you have that, information, that knowledge, then you are going to be able to get your product out there to the right people at the right time. And you're going to want to post during the times when your social media sites are most active. When you have a business account with your social media platforms, whether you're on Pinterest or X or Facebook or Instagram, you want to make sure that you're posting at the time when your audience is going to be out there looking on those various platforms. You might also think about, selling. You may also think about buying an ad. So even if, let's say that you buy an ad and that ad costs you $50, and you're targeting your audience, you're running the ad maybe on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest, and the ad costs you $50. If you're able to reach your goal of making that $1,000, then you just take $50 away from the 1,000 and you still made a nice little profit. So it's really kind of up to you as to whether you want to use ads. Sometimes when you use ads, they can really work for you. If you don't know what you're doing with ads, though, I would recommend that maybe you don't use those. When you're using an ad, though, a lot of times it's also better to use an ad with a product that has a pretty good track record. So, there's kind of a mixed review on whether you want to use an ad. But this is the thing, tweaking, testing, trying things out, learning what works, learning what's not working. That is going to be your job. When you're starting your business, you want to just kind of figure some things out. And the only thing that's standing between you and your first $1,000 is, getting these 6 steps down pat and really learning. I would say learning as much as possible about your ideal customers, making sure that you're getting that product in front of the right people, and then measuring your results. And that is going to be the biggest factor that will help you to make that first $1,000. So tweaking your platform, your site, making that offer irresistible, and even coming up with a lead magnet that is going to resonate with your target audience. That's also going to be one of those conversion strategies that we talked about earlier. But anyway, I just wanted to go through this with you because this is how people are making passive income. And the thing that makes this passive is that you're going to have systems set up that will enable you to run this in the background. So if you're on, let's say that you're on Pinterest or Instagram or Facebook, you can use a tool like Tailwind to auto post for you. So that means that once you know your audience and you know how to get your products in front of those folks, then you can use a tool like Tailwind to post for you. And you can use images and wording and all kinds of videos and things like that that will attract your ideal customers to your business. And when you're good at attracting people to your business, then they're going to take that next step. And at least, if nothing else, you can build a list, right? Maybe in the beginning, you're not able to sell your products as much, but you can build that know, like, and trust factor that really leads to a lot more sales, a lot more interaction with your content, and a lot more business success. So I would recommend too reading the rest of this article because it's going to give you a lot of great information, and it's also going to lead you to other systems that you can set up so that you can earn passive income. Now, one of the systems that I would recommend for you if you're a new business owner, if you don't have an evergreen sales funnel that includes your product, let's say that you have a product that you want to sell, pretty much all year long, like a product that is not related to a holiday, a product that is not, something that is tied to any particular event, something that you can sell year round, then you can use a system like this. It's called an evergreen sales funnel. That system is going to enable you to sell this product all year long. It's also, when you set this up the way that we show you, it's also going to help you to build your list. So you're going to be building a list, you're going to be selling products, and this system will enable you to do that on a passive basis, which means you don't have to be present, you don't have to handle money, you don't have to ship products, you don't have to carry inventory. And so you can set this system up, and we have a course that you can sign up for. Once you sign up, then it's going to take you to the course. If you want to get started with the course, you can do that, or you can just start with our email series, and you can check that out and see if the course is something that would be a good fit for you. But getting on our list and learning more about it might be a good idea, because if you can build an evergreen sales funnel that connects with your ideal customers, that is also going to be a way that you can start bringing in income that will get you to your $1,000 goal as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. I appreciate your time today. Definitely come back and take a look at this blog post for lots of great nuggets that you can use to build your business. And I will see you on the next video. Have a great evening, and have a great week, actually, and make sure that you keep it productive.